Welcome to the SciFi Pubcast. Come for a drink, but stay for the speculation. Flash, flash, flash. Gordon's alive? Well, at least on our show. It's 1980 all over again, and we're discussing the cult classic film Flash Gordon. Spoiler alert, it could have aged better. So pour yourself a tasty drink. This is the SciFi Pubcast. Greetings, welcome to the SciFi Pubcast, the podcast that tries to be a pub, and perhaps someday a pub that tries to be a podcast. Today in the bar we have a few of our staff members. We have Carrie Simpson. Say hi, Carrie.
Hi.
How's the quality of your day?
What the hell did you guys just make me watch?
Wait for it. Okay.
A cult classic.
Okay, we'll get there.
I know we're getting there, but I just want to get that out of the way right now.
Right. And the other voice you hear is Derek Beebe. Derek, how's the kitchen doing?
It is wonderful.
Anything new?
I've got a new special this week in honor of Flash Gordon. It's called the Treasures of Arborea. What I do is I bring a cooler full of various meats up to the customer, and they have to reach their hand into it and take out a fistful. And then I cook it right in front of them on a hot plate. It's like a miniature hibachi grill.
How are we letting him near knives, Joel?
No, there's no knives. It's just like little, it's just a big pile of meat. And you just kind of like stick your hand in there, and you don't know what it is or if it's going to bite you or not, and then you take out a fistful and.
But you said you said you were doing this hibachi style, which implies you have knives or really sharp spatulas that you're using to mix up the meat.
Well, no, I just put it
on
the plate, and then I flip the plate itself like you'd flip a pancake when you're cooking it. Only you're doing the whole plate.
Oh dear gods!
I try to keep a firm grip on it so it doesn't like land on their face or anything. I've been pretty good so far.
Yeah, talking about flash in the pan.
This doesn't sound at all safe.
Yeah, right. Let's just put that on the back burner for now, shall we? And my name is Joel Welch, and I run this fine establishment. Thank you for joining the SciFi Pubcast. It's our episode 9. Yes, we're keeping track. 9 episodes, and that's not German. And let's start with some housekeeping. First thing, Derek, guess what?
What?
I know you're not great at cleaning up. You can see that in the restaurant. But I need you to manage our Facebook page, our SciFi Pubcast Facebook page. I want you to engage people and to interact with our listeners or our customers. Is that something you can do for me?
I will take on this burden for you.
Right. Just remember, no lawsuits, no offensive comments, and inclusion is the word of the day, okay?
Okay. Yeah. I will look up the definition of that and get back to you.
God.
Oh, dear God.
Okay, so I'm going to say to you, release the Kraken. Don't take it literally.
Okay, like cracking my knuckles?
Right. And
why do I get the feeling that we're Wrath of the Titans needs to be on our list at some point?
Yes, actually, both versions of it be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Let's get on that.
And speaking about the Greeks, we've joined the pantheon of podcast networks. Yes, that's it. What a segue. My God. Yes, so our big news.
Have another drink, Joel.
I'm on my first drink, okay?
Okay, then have more.
Yeah, so our big news is that if you haven't heard, we've joined our new network, which is just starting up, called When Nerds Attack. And their website is at whennerdsattack.com. And we're part of a larger stable of shows. Some of them you may have heard of before. Shows such as The Retro Convo, Ghost Stories, a Rebel podcast, Chasing Fandom, The Crash Couch, and of course they have a main network show called When Nerds Attack. Please check them out. They're friends of ours, and more podcasts than you listen to and get involved with our community, the better. What do you think, guys?
Sounds cool.
Okay, so sorry, we've been talking for a couple minutes now. What's the show on again?
I don't. Something you guys just made me watch, and I'm not entirely sure I'm regretting that or not.
It's more than a flash in the pan.
Yes. Wait for it. Yes, we're using a really bad audio cue. We're talking today about the cult classic 1980 film Flash Gordon. Produced by Dino De Laurentiis, directed by Mike Hodges, and written by Lorenzo Simple Jr. and Michael Aylen. Wow. The movie is, of course, based on Flash Gordon, which has been around since 1934. It was a comic strip created by Alex Raymond, before moving to film, radio, and television, as well as theater, if you read the Wikipedia article. Flash Gordon has influenced a lot of storytellers and filmmakers, such as one George Lucas, who in the 1970s tried to get the rights to make Flash Gordon, but it was taken. So he got, annoyed, and then he sat at home and he wrote Star Wars. So, good job, George.
I almost would like to see his take on Flash Gordon now, because I have this feeling it would have been better than what I just watched.
You know what? I was thinking about this earlier today. If George Lucas would have done Flash Gordon in the late 1970s,
we wouldn't have Star Wars. I get that.
Would we have like a huge Flash Gordon community with like hundreds of podcasts and an online presence and like 11 different films?
Okay, you have a point.
I'm just
Maybe.
It's hard to say. I mean, if he had used the same creative team, John Williams, and same actors and the same production crew, maybe.
Are we going? We're not going chronologically or anything.
No.
Are we?
No.
Because the end of the movie does imply that there would have been a sequel.
Yeah, the actors in Flash Gordon was I think they were signed up for like 3 movies. But Flash Gordon, there's a reason why they call it a cult classic and not just a classic.
Right.
Because it didn't do well in the box office.
I can see why.
Unlike Star Wars, before it was known as A New Hope, the original Star Wars, 1977.
Right.
Who could forget that?
Right.
But I digress.
Now, Carrie, just so everyone understands, you just saw it for the first time in your life. Is that correct?
I just saw it. I finished about an hour ago, and I should probably hand in my geek card for punching or something, so I can say that I've seen it.
So it didn't hold up well for you? Well, I guess that's not the term if you've never seen it before.
No, I'm glad I've seen it at least once. I understand the references now. I wonder if Max von Sydow prefers to be known as Ming the Merciless or Vigo the Carpathian.
Also, you didn't think it was fun though?
It was okay. What the hell is hot hail?
Oh yeah, it's basically hail that's really hot, but it's not ice.
That's not even possible.
Oh, we're talking about there's so many leaps of.
That's not even possible. Like he could have just rain. He could have just had something like rain fire. That would have made more sense.
Maybe it's like dry ice where it's cold but it burns you when you touch it.
But that's not what it said. It said hot hail. That makes no sense because hail is frozen rain.
But if they said dry hail, it wouldn't really make sense then, You wouldn't get the connotation.
I need another drink.
Yeah. I'm thinking, Carrie, you just didn't like this movie very much because it has football in it. And plus...
that's the one part I do think was stupid when, Flash the football star conveniently finds a football-like object and starts tackling people like linebackers. And
starts throwing it at people.
That was the one part that I thought was...
Remember, he was throwing eggs. So it ties into the whole sexuality of this movie, which we'll talk about later. So, okay.
Oh, interesting. I didn't pick that up.
But they were... Yeah, and they were football shaped, and they... Yeah. Like, really, guys?
Yeah, it's pretty cracked. Yeah.
Really? Okay. I should have had more than one beer.
Yes.
So, Carrie, what did you like about it then?
Well, the soundtrack was okay. It's not my favorite Queen soundtrack, but
you didn't like the Flash theme song?
Not really.
Oh, that's a classic.
It's kind of lame.
Oh.
I mean, obviously, it's very simple and repetitive, but
yeah.
So
come
classic.
on, Queen they've done 2 soundtracks in their career, right? Okay, they've done this one, okay, yeah. Flash Gordon, which is 1980, and they've done one of the best movies, as at least in my humble opinion, in terms of cult classics, Highlander in 1986.
I have that soundtrack. I love that soundtrack.
I have all the time in the world for Queen. Yeah, let's get into this now. What type of movie is this? Is this a science fiction? Is it, a musical? Is it a rock opera? What do you guys think?
It's definitely not a musical or a rock opera. That would imply people are actually singing in the movie. It's science fiction, definitely. I would say more science fantasy, though.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars. It's space opera where there's no attempt at realism or scientific rules whatsoever.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
I will agree with that.
I would argue there's a rock opera influence on it where they use the music of Queen to further the plot and to further the tone of the storytelling. That, in a combination of how the set designs were set up and how they actually do the blocking on stage or in the shots, you see a lot of the 1970s, Tommy type or Rocky Horror Picture Show influences on it.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of see that, but I still wouldn't call it a full-on rock opera.
Yeah, I agree. It's not. It's
space opera. Space opera, maybe.
When I was watching it today, I actually did get a very big Rocky Horror vibe. I first noticed it with the same kind of cheap canned sound effects from Rocky Horror with the lightning and whatnot. But the more I thought about it, this kind of is the same plot as Rocky Horror. It's about a guy and a girl. They get lost in this big storm, and they and their older professor mentor figure suddenly get lost in this castle run by an evil alien. And it's this big kind of, echoey set that's kind of stony and echoey, and by the end of the movie, they cause the death of the evil alien boss, and and Riff Raff is in the movie as well, of course.
Okay.
Riff Raff, yes, played by Richard O'Brien. He played the wood pipes during the whole Forest People initiation scene. Who could forget that scene? What a wonderful scene.
This is that death scene you were talking about last time with the hands.
Yeah, the whole wood scorpion has freaked me out. Yeah, as a kid.
Again, that is a very, very well. It keeps the population down at least.
Maybe that was their secret solution to their overpopulation problem.
Yeah, and unlike Rocky Horror Picture Show, the theme is, if you dream it, be it. Doesn't matter if you're transsexual or not. There's not really that many themes we can put up, our fingers on in this one. Like raise up and overthrow tyrants.
Yeah, this is definitely a very simple good versus evil story.
Well, there is kind of the theme of everyone come together and overthrow the evil overlord, but there wasn't really a whole lot of coming togetherness about it because you had the flock of hawk people, you had Flash Gordon, and then you had the one guy played by Timothy Dalton who was representative of the tree people. Like, where's the rest of your people? Like, this is if you're all coming together, you should have more people on your side, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they only had 2 hours, Carrie.
And sometimes birds of a feather doesn't flock together. Okay. Let's start talking some of the cast members because we haven't actually named some of the cast members. And so Flash Gordon is played by Sam Jones, big blonde guy who in real life was actually brown hair, not blonde. You have Melody Anderson. Guess where she's from originally?
Canada?
Yes, Edmonton. Who knew that?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, I figured that was why you asked.
Yes, of course. I always say that. She retired from acting and became a social worker. So there you go.
Nice.
Good on her. Of course, you have Max von Sydow, who, was he in any decent movies recently?
Nah.
I really quite...
Wait. There was another space movie. What was that? What was the name of that one? I don't know.
Something Awakens?
Yeah, something Awakening.
Yeah.
Something. He didn't last very long.
Yeah, but...
and of course, he was Vigo the Carpathian.
Oh my God, are they coming for you? Is that you, Carrie? You okay? No, we'll do UFO episode. It's not this episode. It's down the road, okay? Don't get abducted on us.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, the choppers are coming for someone. I'm trying to wave them in Derek's direction.
Maybe that was Flash on his little flying rocket sled.
Yeah. I'm flying a rocket sled. What's the quote? We'll talk about it. Yeah, okay. So Max von Sydow, he's also, I loved him in Dune. He was in Conan the Barbarian. Both very influential movies in my life. Not bad for a Swedish actor.
He was also in Minority Report.
Oh, there you go. We have Dr. Sarkov, played by the Israeli actor. I'm going to mispronounce his name. I apologize. Tupel? He was in...
He's in Fiddler on the Roof.
That's the reason why I know. And plus, he was in James Bond movies a lot. His first name is Chim Tupel, but he usually goes by Tupel. And again, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best with some of these names.
No, it's okay. It better you mangle them than me.
Yes, we ask for our customers' patience.
You can fall on your sword.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Thank you very much. We have
happy to help.
Princess Aurora. Yeah. A-U-R. Thank
Aura?
you.
Aura.
Yeah. You guys say that because I can't. Played by the Italian actor Ornella Muti. And she's a part Russian. That was really unique. Timothy Dalton. Dalton.
Yeah, he doesn't sound at all familiar.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's no James Bond, is he?
Didn't he? Maybe. I know he was. I know he's played a couple of spies. Oh wait, he was in that really, really great movie, The Beautician and the Beast. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I really liked him in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, she was great in Hot Fuzz.
He was really good in that.
I liked him in Doctor Who.
He was in Doctor Who? God, I need to watch more Doctor Who.
Yeah, he was in the End of Time parts 1 and 2.
David Tennant's final episodes.
Yeah, that's a couple seasons I haven't seen yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You're about 10 years behind then.
I'm way behind. Oh, maybe I'm not.
Yeah,
Depends if I have TARDIS or not. Yeah, there you go. Brian Blessed. I love that guy.
Yeah, me too.
Brian Blessed. I've seen him. I watched a lot of Shakespeare when I was in my teens and early 20s. And he's always in the best Shakespeare movies, like Henry V. He was in Much Ado About Nothing, both Kenneth Branagh productions. And
hey, he was Boss Nass in that other space movie.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That other one that he played a certain Gungan.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't even want to say that name, but sure, yes. So he has some Star Wars credit. Yeah.
His most famous role for me is the first Blackadder series, the British comedy from the 80s.
I love Blackadder.
He played King Richard IV, and oh my God, he was so funny in that show. I mean, his booming voice is just so iconic and hilarious. I love that guy.
I have the Blackadder box set. I gotta watch it this week.
Oh, you haven't?
No,
seen
I've seen it, but I just love it. So I have the box set.
Yeah.
So Blackadder is Rowan Atkinson, who played Mr. Bean. There's a bunch of people. Help me out here. Hughes.
Hugh Laurie is in some of the seasons.
The best one is the First World War one, which the Blackadder goes forth. They just reached their stride, in my humble opinion. Excellent show.
I actually think the first one was the best, but that's a very unpopular opinion.
And yes, Derek, and I'm not going to touch that one.
Well, it was more historical and educational than the other ones were.
Yeah, true.
I felt.
Yes, perhaps someday we'll do a Blackadder. Wait, that's not science fiction. That's all right comedy. But oh well.
But in Blackadder, Back and Forth, the 1999 special that aired in the Millennium Dome, he built a time machine and traveled through time.
Right. Yeah, that's right. I do have that episode as well. Interesting. Okay, we might be able to pull it off someday. Moving back to our topic of the day, Flash. Do you know who was in the very first part of this movie for about 2 seconds who became very famous?
No.
He played the bag handler at the airfield, putting the guy's... he closed the door of the plane. He let me put it this way. He was in a very good British crime TV show in the 1990s called Cracker.
I'm not familiar with that.
And
Never heard of that.
He also played a character in Harry Potter, the films. Big man.
Did he make a big impression in it?
Oh, shit!
He has a bit of a Scottish accent.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, Hagrid. He played Hagrid. Robbie Coltrane. Yeah, he had about 2 seconds of airtime. And I had to go back and rewatch it just to catch his appearance.
Nice.
He must have been pretty young.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to say that Brian Blessed was in The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, but that was actually Oliver Reed.
Very similar character, though.
Yeah, a very similar character. Vulcan and Voltan were both kind of, yeah.
That's another movie I love, by the way. That's a great movie.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out... there's so many issues with this film, Flash Gordon. Yet it's so good in so many different ways, and it's so bad in others.
Yeah, like the blue screen. The blue screen just made me hurt. Of like, oh wow, this does not. The effects do not hold up at all.
It was 1980.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realize that, but there are better uses of the blue screen in 1980 than this movie.
No, I think I actually like the blue screen. I like the whole tripping type, milieu. It reminds me so much of other movies like Barbarossa, the Jane Fonda one, Barbarella, and all that. And it's so trippy from the 1970s, and actually that one was from '67, I think. But you have this music meets the hippie scene meets film. You can see it,
right?
You see elements of that in Dune, the film.
Yeah, I've had too much to drink now. The movie, not the miniseries.
Yeah, exactly. And I read some into this whole Flash Gordon film, and man, there were so many problems. First thing, you have two English crews. One's English, two film crews, I should say. One's English, one Italian, and they couldn't speak each other's language very well. So imagine shooting a movie when you have two crews who don't particularly like each other because of the language issues. Then there's a difference between the director who wanted to do a more serious film and the writer who did a lot of the Batman episodes from the 1960s, Lorenzo Semple Jr., who wanted to be very, very campy because his take on it is that audiences will not buy into the realism aspect, so you got to go all the way to the other side and make it campy as hell.
Wow, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, because there are some scenes that are just so ridiculously goofy, like the aforementioned football scene, or the scene when Flash is fighting Baron on that rotating spiked platform, and Arden screams out, "Flash, I love you, but the Earth is going to die in 14 hours."
I love that
and it's
line.
she's just like shouting it as he's fighting for his life. It's like
like this. Yeah, only in like the 80s could you get away with something like that. I'm not usually the one to play the female card, but seriously, the women in this movie are just. I want to strangle all of them. They're all idiots. They're all idiots.
Are we going to talk gender identities and power relationships? Because this one is just all out. I don't think they could do this film again in this day and age, okay? Because it's so sexist, but it's sexist
not the way they
over.
Not the way they did.
Yeah, because even Flash Gordon, half the movie, he's running around without a shirt on.
Which is fine.
Oh, God.
But it's still like, why? Why? No. I can't articulate the other than to say I just want to bitch slap all the women in this movie. Just like, you are all idiots.
Well, to be fair, Flash was an idiot too. So.
Yes, he was.
Oh man, it was.
I think possibly the smartest person was maybe Timothy Dalton's character, except that he was still trying to, keep on the princess's good side. Still, that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
And it's like free love all over the place. Wow, it's like hippies making. Well, you think about that. Some of the film language, right? So the first, the scene where Flash and Dale Arden, played by Melody Anderson, and of course Dr. Zarkov gets paraded in front of Ming the Merciless, and Ming the Merciless uses a ring to do some sort of Flash beam thing towards Dale Arden character. That's so sexual, right? It's and they say that in the extras.
It looked like it was supposed to be something like along those lines, but I honestly had no idea what. I mean, I could guess that it was going. That's where it was going, but it honestly did not look at all like. Yeah, and then her just turning into a complete cheerleader all the time, just like.
Oh, it's.
I was never a cheerleader. I was, I was one of the people hanging out with the actual band, not the cheer.
Yeah, it's brutal. Like you get everything. You get fetishes. Do you remember the so-called torture scene of Princess Aro? But yeah. Say the name.
Aura.
Thank you very much. Right. Okay.
Aura, like your aura is red or very energetic.
Yes, I don't want to spend 3 minutes trying to pronounce that combination of vowels. Yes, that's on me. But yeah, she's been whipped, right? So you have all that. You have the sexual sensitivities things. You have a wrestling scene between the two female leads, with a bunch of slaves looking on. It's
and the slaves looking like they're really enjoying this cat fight, and like, wow, okay, and the fight wasn't even that great.
Oh God, yeah.
For you, maybe.
But I gotta admit, the
what was that, Derek?
Oh God. Yeah. So even stuff like when Flash is hanging by his arms, right, and handcuffed, and the torch is in a cell area. You have Dale Arden going up to him, and he's he doesn't have a shirt on, and they're having like a 3-minute exchange. Okay, it's just one.
Was it for his execution scene when he was wearing that tiny little black Speedo?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And things like the princess is using her sexuality and her literally having sex just to get whatever she wants, and it's all right, which is okay. It's just so liberating, It's like it's so pre-AIDS,
Oh, so maybe.
Oh God!
Wow.
It's just strange.
Yeah.
Oh well. And the stereotypes. We gotta talk about the stereotypes.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of
it was definitely clearly from the 1930s in its origin material.
Yeah, you see a lot of pre-World War II influence, especially with the Asian influence, and then in the flashbacks with the National Socialists and the war in Europe. But look at Ming the Merciless.
Well, the flashbacks actually made sense because for one thing, the Zarkov is Jewish, and he's played by an Israeli actor. So yeah, the scenes of his family escaping Nazi Germany that made sense.
It provides a context to the character and motivation to the character, right? And that's actually an interesting character development.
Right.
Oh, talking about the flashback, did you notice in the flashback they show his wife drowning in the pool, and then they showed the funeral, but they were doing a flashback, but it's not chronological. They got the timeline screwed up.
Yeah, it kept jumping around a lot. There was not a whole lot that made sense. It was going backwards in time, but it would jump around a lot. And I can only guess that his line about how he recited Shakespeare and other literary works in order to keep his mind intact is what helped get the with the timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Around.
So perhaps that's in the novel. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But Ming the Merciless. I actually looked up Fu Manchu. Not the real person, the historical character, but the Fu Manchu mustache or beard. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
And the Wikipedia article is actually great because it states, it gives a history, but it basically, where is it? It says that facial hairstyle is often used to portray stereotype Asians, usually Chinese, as the villains, and it's been around since. It's a British show from the 1920s, I think. Yeah,
it was a novel.
It's the Mystery of Dr. Fu Manchu from 1923. So it's stereotypical depictions of Chinese villains, and yet to this very day,
I actually read some of that book.
Ming did look a bit Asian-ish. I don't know if it's just the makeup or what, or it's not something I've noticed of Max von Sydow in other roles, but he did. Maybe it's just with the way the headdress was and the makeup. He did look kind of Asian. I suppose if they were going to remake it in this day and age, they would probably use someone who's actually Asian,
as opposed to a Swedish actor.
Yes.
I believe the character does appear to be Asian in the original comic books and television dramas.
Yeah, I saw the first episode of the 1950s TV show, and because it was on the Blu-ray, and a lot of the stuff we're talking about the power relationships between the women and like everyone's just clueless and like the Asian stuff with Ming the Merciless. That's right out of the original stuff, which poses an interesting question. Okay. When you remake a property, a franchise, in 1980, how far do you go back, and how much stuff do you bring into the new production?
Apparently not. Apparently, you bring as much as you can.
Yeah. It's you got to remain true to the origin source material, but societies change and our perception changes. And do you downplay? Do you just not use it? Do you change it to make it more palatable? I think go ahead, Derek.
I think you do definitely have to remove the racist aspects of it. I believe what they do now is with back then they had those kind of yellow peril characters. It was started with Fu Manchu, and that kind of created the stereotype of this evil Asian mastermind, usually with the Fu Manchu mustache, and you see that with Fu Manchu, with Ming the Merciless, with the Mandarin in Marvel comic books, with what's his name? I think his name was Egg Fu in DC Comics as well.
I don't remember that one.
These are things that they've kind of erased since then. But yeah, you can't do that anymore.
It's unfortunate because I think Ming the Merciless is a great character and has everything going for him as a villain. And he's one of the few people I could cosplay because I'm a bald guy. But I can't because I don't want to go down in any way, shape, or form towards the whole, racism bit, and because that's not what I'm on about at all. So it's like, oh man, what a great villain.
Yeah, we can't. At least I can't afford to bail you out of jail either. So
it's nuts. And then you see the court. You see the court of Ming the Merciless, and you have all these different tribes. You have the woods people. You have the hawk bird people. You have it looks like a tribal people, and they're all black. What does that tell you? And then you have you have short folks, which is like what right out of Wally Wonka.
Speaking of which, did you notice who the princess's pet was?
No.
That was Deep Roy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
And that's interesting. You know what this movie needs?
And more alcohol?
Yeah, more lizard people. God, that's funny. So you have a throwaway class of people called lizard people, and God, the makeup, the costumes were so bad.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of liked how they managed to do the lizard head over the snake head over the face,
right? So that it actually looked like some kind of person instead of just a hand puppet or something. Right.
But yeah, otherwise it was pretty cheesy.
Derek, you don't have an opinion on lizard people?
I am pro lizard people, but I was saving those opinions for our UFO alien conspiracy discussion.
Excellent. Good on you. I'm sure your overseers are quite happy about that. Okay, how about let's go back about technology and the use of technology. Who uses an hourglass in the future? Like
an hourglass is what we call it in the States.
Well, you know what I mean, right? Sand, like an egg timer thing.
Well, I think that was just a dramatic touch.
Yeah, actually, my grandmother had one.
I have one here.
But I used to play with all the time. It was an actual hourglass. It was pretty huge.
Well, what about the bomb they stuck to the hull of that command ship, where the bomb has an antenna which is right out of a radio, and the switch is like a handheld switch, and there's a green light and there's a red light.
They're just being true to the 1950s serial and the 1930s original comic book.
Red light, green light, haha.
Oh, too funny. It's like the very beginning, right? Okay, when Ming is saying, "Okay, what's this planet? Earth. I've never heard of Earth before." And you look at look at the buttons, right? And there's like volcano and hot hail and all that. And it's like, oh, this is the Earth button for hot hail. It says Earth right on it. Okay. Oh God.
Yeah, that wasn't weird at all.
One thing I did think was really impressive though was the physical sets themselves. They were huge.
Yeah, I will give
the Emperor's courtroom and the Hawkman's throne room where they had that fight on the platform. I mean, these were massive, colossal sets. They were very impressive looking.
I really enjoyed the fight scene in that pedestal thing. I love this type of, theater meets hippies meeting visual like greatness. Even if some of the logical leaps in the plot and the character development is lacking. That's what makes it a cult classic.
I think I would have enjoyed the fight scene more had I seen this 10, 11 years ago before I actually started martial arts. But otherwise, yeah, it was an interesting concept.
Yeah. So, Carrie, I fenced at varsity at university for 4 years during my undergraduate. So with foils and sabers and epées.
Yeah.
And I can't watch a sword fight in any Hollywood movie because most part it's just horrendous. Because fighting is very different in real life than you need to do it in order to see it on a screen.
Yeah.
So I totally get what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I've taken a couple of classes on stage fighting when I was in college, so I know some of the tricks to sell the punch or sell the blow, but it was, the fight was okay.
Hey, how do you like how Ming got, I don't know, killed or not killed? Have you seen that before?
Ming, oh yeah, that looks vaguely familiar, and this was a lot more satisfying than the last time I saw that happen.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wash.
A lot less horror inducing.
Yeah, it's neat.
And he did manage to, but Ming actually managed to survive the impalement briefly, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's pretty much the point. Oh well.
Yeah.
But it's kind of neat at the beginning of the film. So you have an airplane crashing, right? Okay, that kills, was it Monster, the aide or the assistant scientist to Dr. Zhukov, and that towards the end of the film, they use the same method to basically get rid of the villain. That's kind of it's closing, right? It's a closing.
Well, they weren't exactly clear if that assistant made it out of the building or not before getting, or if he got crushed by the plane.
Yeah, Carrie, do you think I'm an optimist or more of a realist?
Yeah, I've known you too long. I know I know what your leaning is.
Yes, there's that. Hey, do you know the main actor? So Sam J. Jones, the guy who played Flash Gordon. You know, they had to, because of production reasons, they had to dub most of the lines back in, and they didn't pay Jones, so he refused to do it. So they had to use another actor to dub all his lines. So when you watch this film, when Flash Gordon says something, that's not his real voice. That's another guy's voice.
Is it every line or just a lot of the lines?
I think it's every line. Some of the articles I'm reading saying that. I don't know.
The sync up was a lot better than some of Arnold Schwarzenegger's early movies.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, obviously, like some of Jackie Chan's stuff, he's not even speaking the same language, so obviously the dub over isn't going to be perfect. But the lip syncing for the dub over actually is practically flawless. I will give him that.
It was great. Like,
yeah.
And I also read, talking about Schwarzenegger, that he was almost cast in this movie, or at least he was on the short list. But of course, he was not American enough because of his Austrian accent. So, sorry, Arnold.
Yeah, too bad they had. There's another thing. If they were to remake it today, they wouldn't care about that. Consider how many superheroes are Brits now.
Oh yeah, it just like if you go back into what Flash Gordon was all about, and the comic strips, and it started in, was it 34? 1934 by Alex Raymond. It's just so interesting. It was created to compete against Buck Rogers. So you have Flash Gordon on one hand and Buck Rogers on the other hand. You have these two classic science fiction icons, and they went head to head for so many years.
Yeah, actually, that makes a whole lot of sense. I love and that may be part of the reason why I didn't like this as much as I actually watched most of Buck Rogers when I was a kid, so I was a pretty big fan of that up until the robot started actually talking.
Well, let me ask you guys this: who was the better American, Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers?
It's been so long
since I've seen
Buck Rogers, so I wouldn't know.
Good duck.
That's another one that's sitting on my. Buck Rogers is another one that's sitting on my computer waiting for a possible rewatch at some point.
Why do you think George Lucas was so fascinated with Flash Gordon?
Well, I mean, there's the good versus evil part. The ragtag group of rebels coming together to topple the big nefarious empire, stuff like that.
Well, I know as a kid he loved those little 5-minute serials that played in front of the movies at the local movie theater. They were Flash Gordon, and then also, I don't know what they were called, but they were the 1930s adventure serials that were the inspiration for Indiana Jones.
Yeah. If our customers are interested in learning more about what makes George Lucas ticks, I definitely recommend the latest Chris Taylor book that came out about 2 years ago, How Star Wars Conquered the Universe, the Past, Present, and Future of the Multi-Billion-Dollar Franchise. I know there's an updated version since out, but Taylor, who hits all the Star Wars celebrations, and he's a smart guy he's an editor at Mashable, went to, I think, an Oxford college, Oxford. I know I have his books in my hand right now, and he goes into some of the details about what happened, why George Lucas couldn't get the rights to Flash Gordon, and why then he just sat and said, okay, I'm going to do Star Wars instead. That's fascinating. He took Flash Gordon, and Taylor says that the budget for Flash Gordon was $35 million back in the day, and it didn't make the money back, basically. Yet, it says, it made $27 million in the domestic box office of the U.S. It did slightly better in the U.K. because of the casting.
And the funny thing about that is that Flash Gordon was originally created in the 30s as a ripoff of John Carter of Mars, which they couldn't get the rights to. So Star Wars is a copy of Flash Gordon, which is a copy of John Carter of Mars.
Yeah, I can't wait until Disney makes a movie, John Carter.
I actually like that movie. I mean, it's not a 4-star classic, but I find it enjoyable.
Yeah, that was decent, but they spent too much money making it, by far.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't seen it yet.
It looks great.
Things can look awesome and still be crap, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good story. It is a little too morose, I would say. Maybe they should have had a little more sense of fun with it, but it's definitely worth seeing.
Okay. Especially
on Blu-ray, because the CGI on the Martian people looked really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But Carrie doesn't have a Blu-ray player yet.
No, well, I have a PS4, but I try not to think of it as a Blu-ray player. Because then that will start me down the long road of converting my DVD collection. And I don't want to spend that kind of money.
But you could at least rent new Blu-rays.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Check. Have my bill. Sorry, there's a Canadian thing. Have my bill.
Let's not go into my long and annoying habit of buying things on DVD that I've never seen because I know I'm going to see it eventually, but I don't want to have to worry about returning the rental.
Well, let me ask you this, guys. When you take these old franchises that's been around for nearly 100 years now, right? You think about it, 80, 90 years, like Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers and John Carter of Mars, and you try to reboot it. How do you make these stories and these characters relevant to what's happening in the present?
Well, the obvious answer would be to set it in the present day and not make it a period piece.
Sure.
But that's turning away from the source material then.
Right. But even how they react, how the structure of their society, or in terms of art, what are they criticizing? What are they trying to say? Things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the... Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking out loud. Go ahead.
No, it's fascinating because you want to show respect to what came before. It's like anything, any application of critical thought in terms of the arts, and I say arts to mean film, literature, what have you. You know, you have to understand the time period when the art is created in order to actually get the art. But some art can last thousands and thousands of years because, like Star Wars, this has been said before, but I agree with this. 1,000 years in the future, when we're back around a campfire because society has fallen, the stories being told will be like Star Wars influenced stories because it's modern mythology.
They actually do that scene in the movie Reign of Fire, which was a post-apocalyptic dragon movie. They don't have technology anymore, and they're doing a live play to the children of the events of Star Wars.
Oh, God, that's great.
Yeah, I've heard of that. That's a dragon movie I have not seen yet. I will, again, hand over my geek card until I see that.
My hazy memory of it is that it was surprisingly good, but it's been a very long time.
What I've been told is that it's a rather good movie, although how the dragons managed to sail off with, gaping holes in their wings is beyond the laws of physics.
On a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, pretty much. But we digress again.
Okay. So how much influence or impact do you think Flash Gordon has had on popular culture?
Well, I mean, there's Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah, so not directly, but its homages then became insanely popular. So indirectly, it's had a massive influence. And it's also been the inspiration for many other things. In DC comic books, there literally is a character called Hawkman, and he looks just like the Hawkman from Flash Gordon. And I actually just read that the costumes of Superman and Batman were directly patterned off of Flash Gordon's outfit in the comic strip back in the 30s. No, wait, that doesn't make sense because weren't they created in the 30s or the 20s? No, they must have been the 30s.
30s.
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah, so Batman and
was
Superman
both
based on Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that's really neat. A franchise or a product or an icon works when you have contemporary, comedy films using the gags. And I'm speaking about Ted and Ted 2. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I've not seen that. Yeah, I know I know what you're talking about. I have not seen it.
I haven't seen the films, but I did watch the YouTube clips with our guy because there's gag portions with Sam J. Jones, who played Flash Gordon in this 1980 film, and it's so funny.
Nice.
And you know who directed Ted?
Seth MacFarlane.
Yes. He's also, he's been around, and he's a big science guy and science fiction guy.
Yes, that's where.
And it's so, like he was the executive producer on the latest Cosmos reboot.
Yes. That was an awesome series.
Yeah, and he used a Flash Gordon, jokes for like literally like a number of scenes in Ted and Ted 2. It's hilarious.
I'm sure there's Family Guy a lot as well.
And I'm sure there's at least a couple in the Orville that I haven't picked up on because I haven't seen Flash Gordon until now.
Yeah.
They also used the Queen theme song at a momentous time in the movie Blades of Glory, the Will Ferrell comedy from a few years ago.
Right. Wow.
That makes more sense than I wanted to.
That's skating the edge.
Yeah, that was that was the song that was playing at the end when he does, for the big final dance off or whatever it was.
Wow.
And I remember when that played back at the time, it was like, oh my God, it's Flash, because Flash was pretty obscure back in 2007.
Right.
Hey guys, what do you make of the different planets shapes in this film, Flash Gordon?
I would think it was weird if I hadn't seen stuff like, say, Voltron, the most recent Voltron anyway, with the same, planet shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see how planets like that would survive in a realistic setting.
Yeah, because not spheres, it's like parts of planets. It's kind of like what you see in Guardians of the Galaxy, or these really interesting shape that's not spheres but something else. Kind of really cool.
Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking.
And this movie, it's puzzling, like the wedding scene, which didn't happen. They were playing wedding music, like stuff we would like.
Yeah, that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I guess if they're really trying to convey that this is a wedding, I guess they would go for quote unquote traditional music.
Yeah.
For that.
Hey, you notice the wedding dress she was wearing? The Arden.
It was black.
Yeah,
right?
Dale Arden. It's all black. Wow, that's a cool wedding dress.
Hey, you know what? I would totally do that if I were getting married. My parents would be unhappy with me though.
Oh, and the gas chair. Wow, isn't that a loop of a execution device? So instead of being electrocuted or shot, you have this thing over your head and you get gassed. That's very inefficient.
The gas chamber has been around for a while, so that doesn't seem a whole lot like. I think they were still using the gas chamber in the 80s.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
No, that's a good point.
Oh, that reminds me of one of my favorite lines. Clytus says, "You don't look well. I'm told you refused your final meal. The chef will be upset." I love that.
Yeah, that was fun. That was funny.
Yeah.
But then he points out that the gas is absorbed faster by someone who hasn't eaten.
I actually thought Clytus was a really cool villain. He really impressed me. I really liked the actor's voice and performance, and that metal mask looked amazing. I mean, he looked way better than the Doctor Doom in any of the Fantastic Four movies. I was very impressed with that. And I was ready to say that, Darth Vader is a ripoff of Clytus, but I just recently learned that Clytus is an invention of the 1980 movie, so he came after Darth Vader, not before.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying this on pain of death, aren't you, Derek? I just love the...
There's some Lucasfilm lawyers holding a gun at me right now.
That's another thing, is that why do they have English signs in this film? Like, you have rocket ships pulling signage that is in English, like, pain of death.
Universal Translator?
Yeah, that's kind of odd, but sure.
Yeah, we're just seeing it for the benefit of the audience. That reminds me. At one point, they said Mongo Miles. It's like, why wouldn't they just say Miles?
Oh, because Mongo's the planet they're on, right? So that's the world.
Yeah, but like we don't say Earth Miles. They said Mongo Miles, and that was amongst themselves. It wasn't, to.
Well, Mongo Mile might be bigger than or smaller than a, standard Earth Mile. It's like how, in Star Wars or Star Trek and other sci-fi franchises, they talk about standard hour or planetary hour, stuff like that.
Maybe Mongo is like mega, so it was like a mega mile.
I don't think so.
My favorite pun in this movie is line.
You only have
there's
one?
a few, but the Brian Blessed line playing Prince Voltron, and when he's with his crew and they're feeling guilty because they're not fighting, and And he says, like, he's dead. How can you help a dead guy? And then he gets a message. And then it's like, okay, fine. I'll set my homing beacon. And, of course, he plays a hawk guy, right? So a hawkman.
Right. Right.
Oh, I love that. That's that's so classic.
Apparently, the line "Gordon is alive" from Prince Voltan became part of British popular vernacular because of this movie.
I can see that. Yeah, is it Gordon is alive or Gordon's alive?
Gordon is alive.
Gordon's alive. God, what a great movie. See, that's why you have to watch these cult classics. Because you have to take the good with the bad. But man, it's fun. It's really fun.
Because you need to get you need to know what the references are.
Yeah, and if you want to drink Gordon's gin while watching Flash, by all means. Oh, man. Right. Any last thoughts about Flash Gordon from 1980?
It's a great movie. It's wonderful.
It's okay.
There's some stupid moments, but I think it's just a lot.
There are many stupid moments.
It's very tongue in cheek, but it's a fun ride.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with that.
I just like Ming the Merciless. I still want to cosplay him, but I know I can't. Yeah. And I don't do cosplaying, so if I do cosplay, it's gonna be something special. Oh well. Okay, guys, let's.
You could totally cosplay as Lobot.
Yeah, I could, but it's kind of been done before. I could go as Jean-Luc Picard or Professor Xavier, but then you have to be in a wheelchair, and that is its own fair share of problems.
Picard.
Picard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Xavier has been known to walk on certain versions of X-Men.
Yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind that, but okay. Right. Let's close out because it's going to be closing time. Folks, thanks for listening. Please follow us on Twitter at the SciFi Pubcast. And now you can follow our network, which is Nerds Attack Podcast, a podcast network. And their Twitter address is at Nerds Attack Pods. We also have a Facebook page, which Derek is now going to be taking care of. Isn't that right, Derek?
Yes.
Yes. This is going to be...
I have the power!
This is going to be either entertaining or dangerous. I haven't decided what yet.
Oh, dear.
You can leave us reviews on iTunes because we need iTunes reviews because that's how people find us. Hopefully positive ones, but if you're negative, well, it's a free country. If you do that and let us know in terms of positive reviews, I'll send you a sticker. Yes, I'll send you a sticker all the way from Canada. It may take a bit to get through customs. If you want to send us some sort of lengthy commentary or question or just concerns or just good feedback or bad feedback, you can email management at scifipubcast.space because we're always looking for feedback. Okay, Carrie, what's your personal Twitter address?
My Twitter handle is Carrie Blackfire42. That's Keri Blackfire42. You wrote Blackfired in the show notes. Which is weird.
I just saw that.
That's okay.
So that's not 40. I'm sorry. You're not fired, okay?
Oh, thanks.
I need you because this is volunteer as a passion project, and we don't pay you guys. So sorry. I don't pay myself. Oh well. Derek, what's your Twitter address?
At Derek J. Beebe.
Great. And mine is at Joel, Joel, _Welch, WELCH. And lastly, our network, Nerds Attack Podcast, networking thingamajig. Well, they have a Patreon account now. It's just slowly getting off the ground. There'll be more rewards or perks going to be attached to it. But if you support them, you are indirectly supporting us. So we definitely encourage you to check out the network Patreon accounts, When Nerds Attack. And if you can, if you're in a position to, throw back some funds.
And I just want to add that they are very serious about doing legitimate Patreon perks. You know, it's not empty promises. They are definitely working on having a set system.
And I promise
that they will be faithful to.
And I promise I will make sure Derek doesn't send any photos of himself out as a perk.
Thank you,
Anytime.
Joel.
I appreciate that. Okay, it's closing time. Guys, got anything else?
Nope.
No.
I'm empty.
Guys, bye.
I am the dream.
Bye, everybody.
Make it home safe, and we'll
Bye.
see you next time. Bye. Music provided courtesy of Logan Rathbone. Podcast logo by Drew M. Copyrighted Joe Welch. Listen responsibly, and we can't wait for your next visit to our fine establishment. Cheers.